Howdy folks, Nathan here. We get lots of opportunities to drive vehicles like this Land Rover Discovery. In fact, we've covered this several times, but we're not doing a review with this vehicle. We will be coming back to it. Rather, we're talking about this. That's right, it's a 2019 Audi Q8, and in this video we're going to be talking about its styling, its interior, its powertrain, and most importantly, its quattro all-wheel drive system. And here's the question: did Audi build their very best SUV? I'm trying not to be a fanboy here in terms of how amazing this thing looks, but it's one of the things that Audi's managed to do. They've kind of come back with their styling. This looks cool. It's like a step away from a Lamborghini. Now, if you look at the front end, first of all, it is still unmistakably Audi. However, there are a few things that have changed. The lines are sharper. The overall design is much more masculine. It's more macho. And that goes over here to these almost useless 22-inch wheels. I'll get to that later. It has to do with off-roading. The overall lines throughout the vehicle are bold. They all stand out. Every character line here can be seen even in white. Now, unlike the Q7, which this is based on, the roof slopes back. And it still has that Audi look to it that they say is reminiscent of older Audis, like the old Quattro, the original. I can kind of see that. But you know what else I can see? A sexy behind. I mean, come on. This is beautiful. In many ways, it's my favorite part of the vehicle. Very well done. But there's a problem, and that is down here. See this exhaust outlet? Yeah, it's not an exhaust outlet. You know what it is? A piece of plastic covering nothing. Come on, pipes, please. Whatever you think of this styling, at least it doesn't look like, oh, I don't know, the Q3, the Q5, the Q7, the Q9, the Q15, the Q17. It's unique, and that, to me, is important. Oh yeah, it's a nice place to be. And it's a very easy place to get into. One of the reasons why crossovers and SUVs are so popular is because big fat guys like me have no problem getting in and out of them very comfortably. The seating is absolutely comfortable. The surfaces are quite nice. And look at this, it's beautiful. I don't necessarily think it's that unique. I don't know, it doesn't really stand out to me. Maybe it's the color. But in terms of overall build quality, come on, it's Audi, and they're not letting you down with this. However, what about the back seat? Remember, the roof is sloped. It's not the same as the Q7. So I had the seat almost all the way back. I'm 6'1", and getting in is no problem whatsoever. Yes, the roof is sloped a little bit, so down here, especially if you're taller than me, you might snag your head. However, once you are in, the seating position is very comfortable. Good elbow room too, and yep, that's right, they recline a little bit. Remember, even though this is based on the same platform as the Q7, it is not the same vehicle, so these seats do not need to slide forward and tilt forward in order for people to get into the back, because there is no third row. You do have a 10-inch screen, which is very sharp and clear, and that's for infotainment, phone, stereo, you name it. And then below that, you have the control screen, which is 9 inches, and it's also very clear, and it's for heating, air conditioning, vehicle control. And then south of that, you have the gear lever, which looks really good. This is chunky, something you can grab. Unfortunately, in order to make it work, you have to hit a side button in order to get it into reverse, which is forward, or drive, which is back, and you have to be holding the button in order to make those happen. Now, and if you want it to park, you have to push a button on the gear lever, P. It's overly complex. I think it's kind of unnecessary, but it's also very German. Let's say you're interested in finding out everything you can about your surroundings using cameras. Audi's got you covered. Everything from 3D imagery, where you can actually move from the outside of the vehicle in all different types of angles, 2, having a variety of different angles front and rear, including being able to see the front wheels and being able to obviously see out the back. And you can even warp the image, which gives you a little bit more of a fisheye look. All of that at the push of a button. Another nice thing is haptic feedback. You get a little click when you're hitting the screen buttons, and that's nice because you know when it clicks, you've properly engaged it. Important numbers here: 335 horsepower, that's important. 369 pound-feet of torque, that's pretty important. And it has an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it feeds all 4 wheels through Audi Quattro all-wheel drive. And with this system, the way it's set up, it's capable of getting 19 miles per gallon combined. Both these vehicles have very different philosophies when it comes to allowing you to choose how you want to go off-road. With the Land Rover Discovery, which is one of their most, at least currently, most capable off-road vehicles, you can select things like grass, mud and ruts, rocks, you name it. And you can lock the center diff, and you can lock the rear diff. You could do all these things from inside. It allows you to do lots of different things, almost a la carte. However, with the Audi, you basically have 2 different off-road settings. You have the all-road setting and the off-road setting. And once you're in that setting, that's it. It does everything for you. If you go into the dynamic mode, it lowers a little bit, tightens up a little bit, feels a little bit more racy. Go in the normal mode, it's pretty much where it is right now, normal car. You go into the all-road setting, and that just gets you up a little bit higher, and I think the whole purpose of that setting is for snow. There's nothing here that says snow. And then finally the off-road one, which is obviously the highest setting, but that also changes the way the traction control system is working. Over the years, Audi has had many different Quattro systems. This one has a mechanical center diff, and it can send, under normal driving conditions, 60% of the power to the rear and 40% to the front. In other types of conditions, it can send up to 85% of the power to the rear or up to 70% of the power to the front. This does help with off-roading and obviously in inclement conditions. Screwing around on loose dirt and shutting the traction control system off, the Quattro system is awesome. It immediately kicks in. It doesn't let me do anything that's going to get me killed, basically. So yes, 60% of the power immediately goes to the rear. That's normal. I punch it even with traction control off, and I lose a little bit of traction. Front end immediately kicks in with very little loss of traction, and I'm able to preserve my driving line. Unfortunately, there's a major elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about giant, oversized, enormous 22-inch wheels. This vehicle comes standard with 20-inch wheels, and you can get 21-inch wheels. These are 22s. You do not want to off-road with 22-inch wheels. You do not want to off-road with giant street-biased tires. You just don't. Here's one thing that surprised me at first, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's right. It's got 22-inch wheels and really big fat tires. Road noise. You hear that? I'm a little surprised to hear this much road noise in a product built by Audi. With the adaptive air suspension option, you can get up to 10 inches of ground clearance. Now that's pretty good. Unfortunately, with these massive steamroller tires and wheels, it's still scary to go off-road. It's simple. Quattro works. Even with traction control off, I was able to have, well, a little bit of tail out fun, but most importantly, the system was absolutely on spot. Yes, I wish I could have taken it off-road hardcore, but you think Roman is going to let me take an $88,000 vehicle with wheels like this off-road? No. Good news. It's still a proper Audi, and it's a damn good crossover. For the Fastlane Car, this is Nathan. I'll see you next time.